Hey, everybody, welcome to a brand new episode of The Creators Outlet. If you're listening to us on podcast, if you want to see any of the video portion that we're showing, just come over to Creators Outlet on YouTube and check it out for yourselves. Right now, we'd like to welcome our special guest this evening, Eric Corrales. How are you?
Hey, what's up, William?
So, we talked a little bit, and I got like a little bit of a hint of stuff, but why don't you tell us how you got into art and your journey to where you are today?
Okay, it was 1983. I walked into my cousin's house, and him and my cousin Billy and my friend Frank, they were upstairs, and they're painting an Aussie vest, and they're using ceramic tools and scratching the paint on the back of this vest. And I was like, what the hell are you guys doing? He's like, we're painting a vest. I was like, get a paintbrush. I said, so I got a paintbrush. I said, give me this thing. Let me do it. So I went in there and I painted the back of the jacket. And it was, like that big skull that Ozzy has right here on his chest. Mm-hmm. Put it on the back of a vest. 11th grade, art teacher sees it, hunts me down and says, 12th grade, you're taking art. So I said, sure, no problem. At the end of the 12th grade, I got a 4-year full scholarship to college.
Oh,
everything.
That's the only way to go to college.
All I had to do was just pay for my gas. And when I started 12th grade, I started taking airbrush lessons at a Busy Bee Mall. The first portrait I painted was Nikki Sixx on a T-shirt. As soon as the guy who owned the T-shirt shop saw that, he hired me. And then December and January going into 1984, I started painting jackets and one Iron Maiden after another. That's how I started.
So we were talking because I showed you a pic, like a little pic of my jacket that I had done years ago, and it's hanging up around here somewhere. I think it's on the other side of my bookcase, way down the end. But I've always loved watching guys, and I've become friends with a bunch of guys that use airbrush stuff, but I found you through, and I'm going to call him your super fan, that you did the wooden plaques of Eddie for.
Oh yeah, this
Nick the cigar guy.
This.
Oh yeah. Wow.
It's a 22 inch. Let me back up a little. It's 22 inches tall. You can see it's as big as my torso, and it's 15 inches wide. My buddy Rod, the cigar guy, he came over here. I did some for him, and when he posted it up, boom, I got such a hit. 21,000 people viewed the video. So I think Rod's going to be my spokesperson from now on. No blonde, no brunettes. I'm just going to stick with Rod, the cigar guy, as my spokesman.
Yeah, you get a rock star like him. Just plug in how great these are.
People love him, and it's not just like airbrushing. I got into digital artwork too. I was a marketing guy in advertising agencies, and I do illustrations on computer, airbrush, paintbrush, you name it. So that thing I actually did all by paintbrush on MDF board, and it got posted up by Eddie the Head fan club, and he posted up on Facebook. And one morning, I got an email from him, and he says, hey, buddy, I did you a favor. Go take a look on Facebook. And he posted up the video of me painting it. All day long, I heard my phone. Bing, 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 bing. 550 followers in under 12 hours.
Wow.
I was like, okay, now I know what needs to be done to get some followers. That coupled with reels and showing people what you do, to definitely boost your followers up. But it's you got to be at it every day.
Yeah, it's a tough thing to do. I mean, I've been at this for a couple of years. I'm no artist. I just talk to artists and like a lot of indie comic book creators and various other people. Anybody that creates something, I want to talk to them.
Okay.
And I think it's so cool what you do. Like I've seen people do it, but not like you. Like
I've
pretty much everything I see is, straight airbrush, but
yeah, what I do is definitely not straight airbrush. I have done illustrations where it's straight airbrush, but that's a whole new look onto itself. What I do is kind of like not mixed media, but mixed techniques in order whatever it takes to pull off an effect. I mean, sometimes you'll see I'll prime the jacket first. Sometimes I'll start painting directly on the jacket. Yeah, that's a case right there where I started etching away at it. I primed it in green. I started cutting away at the eddy one by one and piece by piece. And for that, it worked out perfect because I call that a floater when it floats on the back of a denim jacket and you can see a lot of the material. I love the way that looks. It's so much better than just cutting in a whole panel and making it one big square or rectangle on the back of your jacket. And then I started incorporating fluorescence and iridescent paints into the jackets to give it that extra boom. Like I just don't use acrylics. I use fabric paints. I use acrylic paints. I use actually water-based automotive paints on these too, because as soon as you put clear coat over them, it's completely protected and you can wear it.
Yeah, I know that's how my buddy, excuse me, my friend Jerry did my jacket. Is he clear coated it and then heat pressed it down?
Yeah, you got to heat press it if you're using fabric.
And that's another skill altogether too. Is that is to get the heat press going and be able to do it without destroying it.
That jacket you have up there, I met the guy at the Apple store. I needed to get something fixed on my iPad. And I started showing him pictures. Next thing I know, he's calling me up. He says, I want to buy a jacket. I want you to paint it for my father for Father's Day. So I gave him a price, and then he sends me over the jacket or drops it off. It was the biggest jacket I ever seen. I mean, I had to like change the design because he's almost 2.5 feet tall, Eddie, from the top of his head to the bottom of where the grass is right there.
Mm-hmm.
And that was a really, really fun piece. That I wish I would have been doing the reels back then. I would have known to take more shots and video and showing how I did it because it's a little choppy. It just goes right to the end and you just see the final details instead of exactly how it's done.
Yeah, but you end up getting like so much texture in these from all the different mediums you're using, though, right? All the different kinds of paints you're using gives it like a texture all its own too.
Oh yeah, like I'll use airbrushes, paint brushes, actually toothbrushes sometimes if I need to get stippling effects. I mean, whatever it takes. And I've been doing the same method since high school, where I just stretch this onto a board and make sure I get it nice and flat. Because I see all these people on Instagram and painting jackets all over the place, and they lay them on their dining room table and they put cardboard underneath them, and they had all these waves on them, and all they're doing is battling trying to get the paint on there. It's like, just why wouldn't you stretch it flat?
Yeah.
That jacket right there, I did that in 1986, I believe it was. You could actually see the date somewhere. It was for two brothers that I still hang out with till today, Walter and Michael Kern.
Wow. I'm not sure what I was doing in '86, but I'm pretty sure I was at a kegger.
Yeah, they don't fit those guys anymore, but they still have the jackets.
Yeah, the jacket I showed you doesn't. Well, I can still get into it, but the zipper is like a mile apart from each other. So,
okay, you know what? Cut the sleeves off. Turn it into a vest, and you don't have to worry about the zipper.
Oh, okay.
That one right there, a guy by the name of Jay Pantalet. I always say his name wrong, Pantaleo. He's down in Pennsylvania. And right out of the gate, when I started doing this online, he says, I want 2 of them. I said, 2? So I did that and Purgatory for him. And then I did my first giveaway where it took about a year plus to get to 1,000 followers. And no one picked up on it that you can enter as many times as you want. So I had 54 people in total who entered the contest. 27 of them were Jay.
Wow.
Well, he's going to get another jacket. It's going to be Killers on the back of his.
So is Maiden what you get requested for most, or is it just what you like to do the most?
Maiden the most. I've painted more Iron Maiden denim jackets over the years than any other jacket, but I welcome all sorts of jackets, not just Iron Maiden. I just finished one, Lemmy Motorhead, which was
Nice.
really fun to do. And then I finished another one a couple of weeks ago, Pinhead, first horror denim I ever did. It was for a guy in England, and he shipped the jacket over from England. I had the jacket for about a year, and I worked on a little here, a little there, and then just plowed through it, and I was very happy with the results. Not just Iron Maiden, it could be anything. Ooh, who's that?
I think I got Worms wants to know what your favorite project that you've ever worked on is.
My favorite project that I ever worked on? I don't know. Every time I do one, I kind of like fall in love with it and I want to keep it. And sometimes I hope that I don't take a deposit on these things. I just tell people, send me your jacket, I'll paint it, and then when it's done, I'll send you a thing and you send me the money and then we're all good. And every time I finish one, I want to keep it. But I'd have to say, let me think. Can you hold on 1 second?
Sure.
I'd have to say my favorite one was 1986 Judas Priest, Sad Wings of Destiny. Of all the jackets I did, that one was the most challenging. But if I could get one of those jackets back and I could have it in hand, it would be a Randy Rhoads jacket. He has the polka dot flying V. That was my favorite one of all time. It's really deep down in my profile. I did it many, many years ago, and when I painted it, the girl went to a show, and someone offered her $750 right then and there for the jacket. She was like, "No, it was a birthday present from my boyfriend." So I hope that answers the question.
Yeah, hopefully, yeah. Now, I saw this, the Misfits piece you did, and I was just like, that's funny because my daughter asked me, her birthday was a couple months ago, and she asked me to buy, she wanted some overalls, and her mother wouldn't buy her overalls for whatever reason.
Okay. And
she's like, I want them to be black, but they had in her size one of them that was, it's all cloth. So it's like all cotton. It's not denim, but it was the Misfits logo on like the front bib.
Oh, really?
And most of her playlist is like all heavy metal on Spotify. So I go ahead, you can listen to them. I think you'll like them.
Oh, then when Misfits pops up, I have a Star Wars design that I do digital comps first, and then I send it to the client, and I show them how I envisioned the jacket first. And it was of I can't pronounce his name. He was Han Solo's son.
Oh yeah, I know who you're talking about.
I have a comp of that I can post up on my profile. The person never decided to move forward on it, and I wanted to paint it, but I would love to do a Star Wars one. Actually, I'm going to be doing one of those cutouts of Darth Vader, and I'm going to put LED lights, red behind it, and it's going to have the Imperial crest behind it as well.
Oh, cool.
I like taking requests for things I haven't done yet. I mean, I'll do Iron Maiden ones, but if someone asked me to do a Purgatory or Run to the Hills again, I'd say I've done it. Pick something else. What effect is the most difficult to achieve and why? What's the most difficult effect to achieve? That's a hard question. The Metallica jacket that I just did, Master of Puppets, depth of field when it blurs and gets deeper and deeper and deeper into a picture, as well as the hues changing, or all the hues are the same, you got to really pay attention. That's probably the most challenging thing to do. To try to you're painting a jacket that's about 12 inches wide, and you're trying to make it look like it goes on forever. So it would definitely be the Metallica Master of Puppets.
Yeah, trying to get that depth perception down on the.
Yeah, I have a reel of that one up there.
he said, "Oh yeah, Kylo Ren."
That's it, Kylo Ren. Yeah, he's got the lightsaber, and it's predominantly red. And I have the lightsaber where it's breaking across the seams. So he's painted in the back of the jacket, but then you see the lightsaber comes out and it breaks over the seams, and it looks like it's glowing and sticking out of the rectangle. It's really cool looking. I'm going to post it up. I've done a lot of them, and some people have just backed off and never went forward with them. So I put them up and I say, up for grabs. And what I mean by that is you send me your denim and I'll paint that on the back of your denim.
What material is the hardest to paint but has the best outcome?
Leather. Because I use a lot of tape. I'll use masking tape. I use this tape a lot. This is the most forgiving tape you could ever use when you're doing illustrations.
Frog tape.
You can put this right over the painting and pull it off, and it will not pull the paint off. Now, when you're working on leather, it's a natural substance. So when you start to pull the things off, you have to worry about pulling the paint off. But there's no big deal. I don't care. I just go back and touch it up. But leather is the most challenging, but it looks the best. I mean, it's like painting on a soft, plush, velvety surface. Unlike the denims, they're rough, and it's like painting on a sponge when they aren't primed.
And I think I got Worms as Isaac.
This is Isaac. What's up, brother? Frog tape. Yep, frog tape. Definitely get that. I not only use frog tape, I use pinstriping tape, like the automotive pinstriper guys use. You'll see it in there sometimes. You'll see that there'll be a whole bunch of blue and orange and yellow lines. When I need to go around curves and things like that painting that's up there right now that I'm painting, what I would do is right in the middle of painting it, I'll spray acrylic clear over it. I'll give it like an intercoat so it locks down everything. And then I can put my tape or my Frisket or my automotive pinstriping tape right over it. But most of that jacket was freehand airbrushing and pinstriping. But I used a different technique. See, everything's white right there?
Yeah.
That's instead of using graphite paper, I used white Sorel paper. And when you draw on it, it transfers the picture onto the primed denim. It's a pain in the ass because you have to sit there painting over all that white and you have to hide it. So I wouldn't recommend using it. I did it once and I wasn't happy with the results, but I like the way the painting came out. I wouldn't use that stuff again. I'd rather prime the jacket lighter and sketch it in. Ooh, Jaws.
Oh. Dum, 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 dum.
Yeah, that was so much fun to paint. The fellow I painted this for, I went to high school with. And over the years, I probably painted about 20 jackets for him. And
wow.
Yeah, he'll just pop out of nowhere and say, Eric, I need this done. I need that done. And he said, I want a jacket that I could wear at the beach when it gets cold at night. I was like, are you kidding me? You can wear it. He's like, yeah, I'm going to cut the sleeves off. I'm going to wear it at night when it gets cold. Because I should turn some heads. And it was a lot of fun. A lot of fun to do.
Oh, that's awesome.
That was primed. As you saw in the beginning, I actually prime it and in the color that the jacket's going to be. Instead of doing it white, sketching it, and painting it, you can cut through all that and prime it with the predominant color of the jacket, like that. It's like a grayish green. What I did is I mixed metallic paints in there. So when you see this jacket move, it actually shimmers. It's got the metallics in the water and in the shark.
Came out so amazing too.
And that was before I learned how to do the reels. All those reels and the videos that I put up, I actually just sit there on the couch watching TV on my iPhone, splicing them together. Oh, the zombie jacket.
Oh, man.
That's another one, the same technique. There was no sketching done. I just went in there and I primed it first. I used that Sorel transfer graphite paper again, and then just started hacking away, painting, airbrushing. And that's for a buddy of mine, Craig. And he's a principal in high school, and he wears that in high school. He's actually getting this jacket done next.
Oh, dude.
This is Spawn, and what I did is I sized this up on the computer, so it's this printout is my reference. It's the same exact size as the back of this jacket. So when I'm visually looking at it, I'm copying 1-to-1. Now, Craig's not aware of this, but all of this paint that's going to be right here and down here, I'm going to be using neon, fluorescent, and glow in the dark, and I'm not going to tell him. So when he goes outside and then comes inside, this thing's actually going to glow. This is actually, I'm going to be working on this tomorrow, and hopefully it'll be done by Monday.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I've been waiting for this to do that one for a long time. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Wow. Well, I guess he wears the zombie jacket around because, he wants to let the kids at the school know that, F around and find out.
Oh, yeah, he's a really good dude. For a long time, Mickey Mouse, I did a Mickey jacket and I did this. This outperformed every other post that I put up. And I was like, God, Disney and Mickey are killing all my other work. But then Rod came in and Pinhead from Hellraiser came in and just destroyed Mickey. And they have the number 1 and 2 spots. So I was getting tired of looking at Mickey Mouse. There's the depth of field.
Yeah. Wow.
Painting all those strains of grass and wheat. That was a very challenging jacket. I was working on that jacket and another jacket at the same time because I was getting bored doing the grass, and I would just put it to the side and then go jump onto another one. I mean, ideally, behind me, I could set up a whole bunch of jackets behind me.
Mm-hmm.
I was going to have 3 or 4 of them in the works at one time, but the only problem is my palette can only hold a certain amount of cups and colors, and I have to keep on shuffling them around. So that didn't really work out very well. See how that breaks the seam?
Yeah.
That's what's a little bit different about my jackets than other people. They want to squeeze everything into that rectangle.
You got the whole back.
Yep. Speaking of the whole back, I was going to ship this out, but I held on to it so I could show this jacket.
Oh, dude.
This is a monster. I mean, look at the size of that head on this thing. And it's got, I'm trying to make it, there you go. See the metallics?
Yeah, it shines. And
Yeah, it's got metallic paint, fluorescent paint, neon paint, and he hasn't seen the jacket except for the video that I posted up on the site. But this is for a friend of mine from high school. He said, I have to find the artist. This isn't my own design. I found this online and I forgot where I found it. So I got to give this guy credit because it's not my design, it's his. I just copied it and painted it on the back of the jacket. But my intentions are, since I'm running out of Iron Maiden stuff, people keep on wanting the same stuff over and over. I'm going to start doing my own designs, original Iron Maiden stuff like Derek Riggs would, and put my spin on it and just throw them on the back of a jacket. And people can have an original of something that looks like Derek Riggs, but, Eric did it.
oh, yeah, that'd be killer. I actually just bought, I collect buku comic books and action figures, and I just bought the Pilot Eddie figure a couple weeks ago.
Was it 3D printed?
No, it's actually licensed. They actually have it licensed through a company.
Okay.
And
that's the jacket that was just won by Jay in Pennsylvania. So I'm painting that one for him for free.
Wow.
But you see, it's a little different. It doesn't have the city in the background. It doesn't need to say Iron Maiden. If you don't know who that character is, then you don't know who that character is. But I just thought it looked cool with the axe coming over one side and his hand coming over the other. I just wish I could have made his head pop out more on the top. But
yeah.
I wanted to paint that for myself for the longest time, and I was kind of sad that Jay won it. I tried to talk him out of it. He's like, no, I want that. So he's going to have Run to the Hills, Purgatory, and that. Ooh, the Joker.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. There's a fellow online, Jody at Royak Designs.
Oh
Royak,
yeah. I've talked to him before. Yeah.
I started seeing him do these things, and he inspired me to like start doing these. And I was like, wow, look what he's doing there. It's like I want to put my twist on this. But you see how I'm doing this right here?
Mm-hmm.
When they do the comic books, they do what I'm doing right now first, and then they color it in, and then they go back in and they touch it up. What I did is I sprayed all the color in and I locked it in over a light pencil sketch, and then I blew lacquer over it. And the eyes, they're metallic green, and so's the hair. So when you move that thing around, I have that on the wall behind me. When it moves, you can see in that picture, it actually shimmers. There's metallics, automotive paint in there. It's a really, really cool piece to see up front, right in front of your face.
That is sick. Whoops. You've gone too far. Batman Who Laughs.
The Batman Who Laughs. That's the same technique. I had that sketch on there, then I primed it, sketched it, and then blew lacquer over it just to lock it in so I don't smear it when I'm working. And then I just quickly go in there and blast in the color until I feel I've gotten as far as I can go, making sure that I can still see the original pencil sketch lines. Then I go over there and I cover them up with all the black. And that's a metallic black paint that I mixed up so that when I clear coat over it, you'll see speckles of metallic everywhere where it's black on that. And that I have right up behind me too. Yeah, you can see it in the picture.
Oh yeah, that's just. Oh, I'm just drooling over here, like an old man in a nursing home.
That's the one that got me blasted off. Actually, I finally broke 1,000 followers. I mean, 550 in one day. It was like lightning in a bottle, and I know exactly how it happened, why it happened, and what was done. So I'm working on a Power Slave piece that's going to make this look like nothing.
Oh man!
And, I'm not going to give the Power Slave piece away, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to make prints of it, cut them out, print it, and I'm going to give one away, and then I'm going to try to sell a couple of them.
Oh yeah, people love prints.
Yeah, I figured out a way to do it where, you know, it looks cool like that. I have them side by side and the color is almost exact. It's just, you know, I don't keep my original artwork, and I just started to because these things I'm falling in love with. After I paint them, I was like, I don't want to part with them, so I hang them on my wall. But I'll make a print of them and sell those.
Oh yeah, I've got a slew of prints around here.
That jacket was for Rod, the cigar guy.
Oh, nice.
And he hasn't posted this up on his wall yet. He gave me this thing a while ago, and he said, just do what you want. So I'm showing in there step by step what I do, chipping away at it, airbrushing, paintbrushing, pinstripe detailing, fluorescent paints in the background, and then I just spray acrylic clear over it. And that was done by a fellow in South America. His name is Pardo, P-A-R-D-O. If you look online on Instagram, you can find him all over the place. He does some really cool work. That's his design that I just remixed and did it in my style.
That's cool.
That does not exist. That is a digital comp. Someone said, I want Trooper done. So I mocked this up in Photoshop to show them what it's going to look like, and they're actually on my to paint list. This is going to be a present for somebody.
Oh, nice.
That was a lot of fun. I wanted to paint that image since he passed away, and a friend of mine, Chris Sarr, went to high school, junior high, elementary school. He said, I want a Randy jacket. So I said, what do you want? He goes, I don't know. So I remember that picture. I said, all right. I put it on the back of the jacket. I sent it over to him. I said, but I'm going to paint this in metallic paints. That's all metallic, except the lighter colors. It's blue metallic, black metallic, silver metallic, gray metallic. And when that thing moves, it shimmers. The picture does not do it justice. When you see it in person, it's like, that's probably one of my favorites in the top 3.
Wow. Oh yeah, you can see a little bit of the shimmer of the light source coming down on Randy.
What I did is I found a really crisp, tight, nice picture of that, but I didn't want to just do a portrait. I wanted to do that effect where it seemed like it's kind of animated looking. Mm-hmm. So I actually just brought the picture into Instagram and applied a filter on it, and that came out. So I blew that up, and I had a reference material the same size as the jacket. I always do 1-to-1, and I copied it from that.
Very cool.
Oh my God, I got that behind me. Jody over at Royak Studio, I saw his Spider-Man. I was like, I want to do a Spider-Man piece. So I did that. And that Spider-Man head and that Green Goblin head and the web was a nightmare. I completely finished painting both of those heads. And I decided, no, I want to make this thing nice and shiny. I spray the clear on it, and I go to Lowe's to go pick up some more supplies. And when I come back, both heads, all the paint is all wrinkled and rising and rippled and completely wrecked. And I had to have it done in 3 days. So right then and there, you ever watch those car shows?
Yeah.
Like, the Count Customs and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I hear them when there's an imperfection buried in the lacquer. So I was like, all right, let's give it a try. So I got a little spray booth in my garage, and I sprayed about 20 coats of lacquer over both of them. And you can't see it. You can't see any of the wrinkles. It's buried. All the wrinkles are still there. It's hidden. Then on the background, where it's black in the spider web, it was supposed to be metallic silver. So I used vinyl to cut it out. I sprayed the whole thing shiny metallic, put the vinyl down on top of it. Then when I pulled it up, it's due the next day now. All the paint came up. And I had to put this at a show. So I sat there in my garage pouring lacquer thinner and thinner on there, scraping that thing. And it's 4 feet tall with razors. And then I hand painted all of that. That night, mounted it, put it together, and dropped it off the following morning for the show.
Wow.
Nightmare piece. I have 3 of those in my house right now. There's one in the garage. There's another one in the garage of the Green Goblin. I'm going to put those up for sale. They look just like those. But I have a third Spider-Man. I actually cut out his eyes. And I'm going to put white plexiglass in there and an LED light. My son wants that in his room.
Oh, nice.
So he'll have a lit up Spider-Man. He's a big Spider-Man fan. What's that?
And who is this? Oh, that's going to be Goblin, right?
Yep, Green Goblin. Batman.
Oh, yeah.
That's just, I was looking at what Jody does over at Royak, and it uses MDF board. So I tried the MDF board, and I just painted that one black on top of the MDF. I threw that on the floor in my basement on the exercise mats and threw a light behind it. But after looking at it a while, I said, you know what? I think Batman could look a little cooler. And I just hung him up in my office today. Now that piece right there now looks like this.
Oh, wow.
If I could get close, you could see. I painted all the grub and his hair on his face. And the only reason why I did that was there was an imperfection, like right over here. There's a big scratch. And I couldn't figure out how to cover the imperfection. So I said, you know what? I pulled out colored pencils. And I put all those little details of all that hair to make his grub in color pencil. So you could put color pencil on top of airbrush, on top of MDF, and then I lacquer over it. And then I lightly sand it, and I paint it over it again. I kept on doing that and adding more and more. And then there's a whole bunch of metallic up in here too. And he lights up.
And he lights up.
Yeah. His
Oh,
hours are cut out so I could eventually put the lighting behind there and hang them up on my wall.
oh, that's rad, dude.
Let me just pop that back up on the wall. That I originally started doing in all those brown lines that you see there.
Mm-hmm.
Brown Sharpie marker.
Wow.
And just brown Sharpie markered all it in there. But then it started to bleed into the MDF board, and I didn't like the way it looked, so I said, let me go back over it with some paint. So I mixed up a whole bunch of brown paint. I finished it, and I thought, oh, that looked cool. And then my OCD kicked in, and I overworked it and just kept on painting it and painting it and painting it, and it wound up being full color and on the wall now. When I was trying to get 1,000 followers, I was posting these up to get people to enter the giveaway. So, William, say you wanted to enter and you liked that jacket. All you'd have to do is post that on your wall, tag a couple friends, and say that you're in. And I would include you in on the giveaway. And I'd give you a number. And if your number was pulled that corresponds with that one, then that's what I would paint on the back of your jacket.
Right.
So that's a digital comp. That one's a digital comp as well, but I have painted that in the past also. That's what the Power Slave is going to be, Power Slave piece. That's from, I found that online, and I thought it was really cool. And I have somebody on my list about 4 jackets from now. It's going to send me that jacket. I'm going to be painting that on a jacket. That's actually the comp, but when I'm finished, it's going to look just like that. That's another digital comp.
Yeah, that's badass looking with the lightning coming out of his eyes, though.
Yeah, it was missing something, so I said, you know what? Let me just add something to it, and I like the way it looked. When people say, "Well, what's the jacket going to look like?" There you go. This is to make it crystal clear. That I found online too. His name starts with a T. I keep on seeing Eddie Graham 999 is a new Iron Maiden guy out at Eddie Graham 999, and he featured this artist several times in the last couple of weeks. And this guy does phenomenal work. I can't remember his name, but if you go on there, wow, does some really cool stuff. That's one of his pieces, but I just put his face. That's a digital comp too. I was on an Iron Maiden kick that day, and I wanted somebody to win, and I wanted to paint a different type of Iron Maiden with the head just huge on the back, kind of like that last piece that I just showed you, that jacket.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But all these here, I'm going to post up and say, would you like this design on the back of your jacket? If so, contact me. So those are going to go up like that. Same thing again. I mean, I made so many. That's an original piece of artwork that I created. Created that digitally and then superimposed that onto the back of the denim, and kind of looks like it was painted on the denim, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I used to do photo retouching and stuff like that. So I use that skill with this to promote how something could possibly look. So no one's asked to have that done, but I thought it was a cool design. That was a top-rated design I had for a long time. Nobody beat that until just lately. That piece I gave away. That was my very, very first giveaway. I mailed that out this year in February. It went all the way to Italy. It made it all the way to Sardinia. The woman did not pick it up. It's somewhere in Italy. They don't know where it is. She didn't get it. I can't get it back, and they won't give me my shipping money back. So UPS, you suck. I hate you. Here's the piece right there.
Oh, yeah.
And I was inspired to do that. I was watching all the cool stuff that Jody does over at Royak. And I figured, let me do one. I look like a giant tiki lamp there.
The grass, the grass, the grass.
It's the same color over and over, and you have to paint in all the negative space first, so you know where the grass is, and then you have to build it, and then airbrush over it to darken it, and then pull up highlights over it, and then airbrush over it, and so it looks like there's layers of grass going like this. It's that had two different spots that were hard. The grass in the front to make it look like it's going back, and then the crosses in the back going on into infinity. It's a royal pain in the ass, that jacket. On that cutout, I just glued the eyes from behind. I wanted to cut them out of flexi and then light it up. You know, there's a reel way up at the top of the profile of Pinhead.
Let me look and grab that. Imperfections tend to lend way to improvements.
Yeah, they do. Especially if there's a lot of detail. You just go with it and you add to it.
Let me see.
You can see it's hot in my house. I mean, I'm turning pink here.
A different shade of pink, yeah.
Yeah, my son always makes fun of me. He goes, "Hey, Dad, you look like the American flag. You know, red, white, and blue. White hair, red skin. You know."
I'm looking for it. Not quite seeing it though.
I got something really cool if you want to see it.
Oh yeah, sure.
I did this. An ex-girlfriend of mine gave me her son's motocross helmet. And I had a video up there, be chipping all the paint off. And I like the New York Giants. And this is the year that they went to the Super Bowl. So I figured, you know what? Let me make a helmet.
Oh man.
Hardcore Giants fan. Look at these spikes. I mean, this thing's like an inch and a quarter. And I drilled out all the holes. You can see this metallic blue paint. This paint is auto air paint. And I did that on both sides.
Wow.
So, yeah, it should have been a Raider helmet, definitely.
Oh, I don't know about that being a Denver fan.
I mean, with all the spikes and everything, but you know,
Oh yeah.
I went to this party at a bar and everybody was taking it, putting it on their head and taking pictures of it. So it was pretty cool.
Oh, that's
Old
bad.
school tattoo. This is a helmet somebody gave me. And I said, you know what, let me just see if I can paint the dragon on this. And a lot of metallic paints on there, lightning in the front. And I did a samurai on the other side.
Oh, that's so cool.
So it's not just jackets. Pretty much any media I could paint on. I got another one here too. And I want to definitely shout out this person's name. William, still there?
I'm still here, yeah.
Okay.
I put you on full screen so
Oh, okay.
we can get a good look at the art.
Joe Capobianco from Hope Gallery in Connecticut. I went to high school with him and I airbrushed in a t-shirt shop with him. I asked him if I could knock off one of his designs and I painted it on a helmet. So this is a Joe Capobianco design that I airbrushed on this helmet. It's actually in his blood pudding book.
Oh, sweet.
And this was all done in sepia tones, but I did this in black and white. And I did this for a friend of mine who was starting a motorcycle shop. And he gave away these helmets and he asked artists just to paint them and he was going to auction them away. Well, he auctioned them away. I bid on it and I won my own helmet. I saw nobody was bidding. I was like, you know what? I'm going to bid on it. I'm going to win it back. So I bought my own helmet back. I'm going to build a shelf and I'm going to hang them up behind me.
Cool.
And I got one other thing as far as automotive goes. I got a matching tank downstairs in the basement because this is a split tank for a Harley. So someday, if I can figure out how to match these colors, which probably I will never be able to do, I should have did both at the same time. Oh.
Now I got to ask, how long is your commission list?
Right now it's 15 deep.
15 deep.
And let me put my glasses on. I can give you a rundown of what the upcoming projects are. Next is Spawn. And then I also have a jacket. I have to paint just roses on the back. So it's going to be a far departure from what I normally do. It's just going to be very girly and flowery and flowers and girly and bumblebees. And,
Well, your son's bound to not make fun of you for that one.
I mean, I'll make it look like it's supposed to, but it was supposed to be an Aerosmith jacket, and then she changed it at the last minute to roses. So I was kind of disappointed. Let's see. I have an Iron Maiden coming up, and I don't know the name of it. It's like off a single, and Eddie's standing on a heap, and he's screaming, and he's holding a book or something. I don't know what that one is. And then I have a character, Forky. You ever hear that? It's from Disney or something. A Forky character. Then Killers. Trooper comes after that, and then right after that, another Trooper. I got a King Diamond coming up. I'm looking forward to doing. 2 Minutes of Midnight, another Iron Maiden. Then there's a young artist. Her name is Abby Kay, and her father Scott wants a jacket done. He gave me a vest for his daughter, and we shipped it over. It came in this box about like this big, tiny. She's tiny little petite little nothing, and I painted her logo on the back of her vest. Now he wants something done, but he's not sure if he's going to get Motorhead or maybe an Abby Kay again, like something with his daughter to put on his jacket. That black and white Eddie that was showing me pictures of before, that's coming up. Then that guy that had the white Misfits.
Yep.
He wants something done, but we haven't figured it out. He just said, put me on the list. So he knows the deal. He's on the list. And then the 15th one is the one I'm really looking forward to. I'm going to see if I can pull it up on my phone and show you. It's Cliff Burton from Metallica. And it's that famous picture where he's got both fists like this with skulls on them. Let me see if I can pull it up on here if I have it on my phone. This one, I just can't wait to do. Just bear with me one moment. I didn't think I would be answering all these questions like this. I don't have it.
Well, I did find the pinhead.
There we go. And I did this live one night. I was on there listening to some music and painting this, and Instagram cut me off, says I was broadcasting music illegally. So I kind of threw an online tantrum calling Instagram all sorts of names. Like, why can't I listen to music while I'm painting live, you know?
Oh, it's that's a big thing. Like even on even here or any of these big tech platforms, they've always got bots listening for any type of copyright written material. We were doing on one of my friends that popped in earlier to the live feed here tonight. We used to do a karaoke stream on his channel, and one night his wife was singing like a show tune from one of the Disney animated movies,
and they cut you off.
Yeah, they flagged and struck the channel, and then like 30 seconds later, we were right back up and running.
Yeah, that's what happened over here. I couldn't understand it. I was like, you know how boring it is to sit there painting and people just. I felt like Bob Ross after a while. I was like, I'm going to add a little bit of cerulean blue here, and people think you're weird because you're an artist. I started actually sounding like him. I found that people love that old school, creepy sepia crinkled look.
Oh yeah.
I was testing out, posting up stuff at night just before I go to bed as a teaser for the next morning. Because you know how you're supposed to post on the up of the users to the peak, and then like that. So like where I am, it says I should be posting around 6:37 in the morning, and the peak is around 12 noon. I said, you know what? The peak has got to be higher somewhere else in the United States and in the world. So I tried that at nighttime, and it actually worked. So no one else is doing that. Do the inverse of your peak. Mine is 7 o'clock post, so I post at 7 o'clock at night, 7 in the morning. Seems to be the best times.
This jacket came out awesome though.
The Cliff Burton is going to look like this, all sepia toned, all brown, like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make the whole video look like this, where you see me painting and my hands look like the sepia. But then I'm going to have two copies of it. One's going to be in color and one's going to be in sepia tone. And then midstream, like see me painting right there, all of a sudden my hands are going to turn into real color. But how the hell did he do that? But the painting's going to remain the same because it's actually going to be painted to look just like that type of style. I wish I had a picture of it. It's really cool. Oh my God. When I posted this, someone said, "Oh, you're doing Judge Dredd."
Well, funny story. The Batman Who Laughs, and you did one of those. The character design for that was actually, and everybody goes, that's a blatant ripoff of 2000 AD Judge Dredd's arch nemesis, Judge Death.
Yep. There's so many ripoffs. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, there's no. They go, oh, there's no original ideas left. I go, well, apparently not, because all you know how to do is remake movies that are perfectly good in the first place.
The rehash.
Yeah.
This woman didn't want Eddie at all. She was dead set on I want this, and this is very different than all the other jackets. The whole background, you could see all the background, but I mixed metallic paints in the black and the silver and the grays so that the snake would shimmer when you move it, and it shimmers. It came out a lot better than I anticipated it. She was completely blown away. She actually went over to Europe and she wore it at a concert. So Iron Maiden over there.
Very cool. So there's been lots of questions tonight, but I figured I'd prep you because that's all these shows are. You might get on topic and go off on a tangent, but there's just lots of questions, especially the first time you're on somebody's show. And I want to thank you for coming on mine because this has been very cool to hang out and get to know you a little bit better. And now that I'm following you, you might see some of your videos appearing up in my story on.
Oh, please! You have my full permission right now. Anything you want to rip off of my profile and post it onto yours, anything and everything, go ahead.
Oh, I'd be happy to share it. If you do anything where you're going to be doing some kind of giveaway, if you want to email me a video, I'll be able to play it. During my shows, like right now, I have to give a little airtime to our sponsor tonight.
Oh, okay. How does that work? Like, do I see a commercial pop up?
Yep. In 2 seconds, I'm gonna click a button and you get to watch a little movie.
Oh, cool. Let me see how this works.
War is a topic of vital importance, a subject of inquiry that cannot be ignored. It is a matter of life and death. It can be a road to safety or to ruin.
In an alternate version of our world, brought to the brink of total collapse, rival nations fight for global domination, and elite pilots in futuristic combat suits wage war on the battlefield of tomorrow. Now, 6 brave soldiers on a seemingly routine rescue mission will encounter more than they bargained for and uncover a dangerous secret that could change their world if they live long enough to see it. Mavericks Origins Volume 1.
Now on Indiegogo.
Now on Indiegogo, in demand. Go get yours today.
That was cool.
Yeah, I'm just waiting for mine to come in.
I have to contact you and find out what the format and the pixels are like that, because I assume if I send something over to you, it would have to fall into those guidelines and that format, correct?
Any kind of video, I can just, when you send it over, I can just upload it from my PC right to my StreamYard platform here.
Okay, because I would definitely love to send you over something when I plan to do another giveaway, because I am branching into a different realm of things that I've been doing. You know, there's the jackets and then there's these cutouts. But I have a wood shop, and I do a lot of work for restaurants and so on and so forth prior to COVID. I mean, the business pretty much died. So I have to figure out a way to resurrect it. So with these heads and this Iron Maiden heads that I've done, I've got a bunch of designs that have been bouncing around in here.
Mm-hmm.
I purchased a CNC machine. So I'm going to be able to cut what I see and then paint it and then put it together so it's stacked and layered in frames with lights, and actually going to put little speakers in there so you can put your iPod on there, and if it's Iron Maiden or Motorhead or Van Halen or Marvel Comics or whatever it may be, it'll be very unique pieces of artwork that you can buy, hang it up in your room, turn it on as a nightlight, pop your iPod in there, and you can play music through it as well. That's the intention.
Oh, cool. I got lots of music. I was a DJ for 30 years.
Yeah, this like, you know, this, it's only limited by the imagination, and coffee makes mine go crazy. So
yeah.
a ton of stuff to do.
So I want to thank you for coming on. Just let everybody know where they can follow you on social media.
Okay, you can follow me on Instagram only right now, not on Facebook, at Eric, ERIC, Corrales, KARALIS. That's Instagram, at Eric Corrales.
And you'll know you got the right guy when it says Eric the Painter on the profile.
William, I was very nervous about this all day. This is pretty cool. If you ever want to bring me back sometime in the future or anything like that, I would love to come back and do this again.
Oh, anytime. Just hit me up when you got some new stuff going on, or
I'll do that when I have a giveaway, because I want to do a really, really nice giveaway. I have a lot of Iron Maiden fans, so I'm going to do a few different designs, and I want to say thank you to people. They pick up the shipping though, and they'll get something really, really cool.
Awesome. Yeah, just let me know what's going on. I'm going to be following you, you know, like the stalker you wish you never had. And
what's your favorite thing? A band or something like that? Because I see you got Red Sox on there.
Well, I'm from Boston. My favorite thing is hockey.
Okay.
I'm a big old school hockey fan, and I've met most. Some of them have passed away since, but I've met most of the championship teams from the 70s. That most of the players that played for Boston from 70 to 72. A few of them have passed since, but I've met them all, and I've got hockey pucks and photos and everything. Down the other end is the
Bruins,
looks like
right?
I live in a warehouse. Yeah, it looks like I live in a warehouse, but it's an old refurbished factory.
It's got to be cool. Maybe you should go through there and video and show everybody, because I like seeing where people work, like their offices. I'm always zooming into the pictures to see if I can see.
Yeah, it's like I got like 2,800 square feet, which includes an open kitchen, bathroom, and 2 bedrooms. So, my girl and I are still putting the place together. Down here is a mess, but as you can see, I have lots of stuff.
Oh, I hear you.
Toys, posters, comics, action figures.
You just do a little bit every day and you put it in order.
And that white shirt that's hanging up off the bookcase down there,
Yep.
is the one that my friend airbrushed. He airbrushed the logos on the front, and he painted Joe Linsner's character Dawn on the back for me, and she's holding on for dear life. Probably afraid I was going to fall on her or something. But I want to thank you very much for coming on. We'll talk off screen. And in case you didn't get to write it down and you've been staring at his handle for Instagram the entire time, or unless you're listening to it on a podcast, either down below or up above, depending whether you're watching us on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, or if you went to one of the podcast platforms to download this episode or listen to it there. If you scroll down to the description, all the information is there, including my link tree where you can follow me everywhere. And we will catch everybody next week. Brand new guest, same Joker time, same Joker channel. And we'll catch you all on the flip side.
I'll tune in next Wednesday.